Hello. Hello. This is Jeff Kohler, aka the Option Addict, from the world-renowned OptionAddict.net. In fact, it's the day after the holiday weekend. Hope you all had a pleasant one. Anyway, back to business. It's Monday morning. We need to start trading. I'm looking at a chart here of the S&P 500. Before we even go down that road, there's going to be a lot of economic news coming out this week. I'm not going to run through the economic calendar with you. I prefer you just go Google it, look it up. There's going to be a lot of things coming out this week that may or may not influence the market. But as I'm looking at the S&P right now, I think the next obvious target in this free fall is 1,400, right? It's a psychological number. It's a round number. Look for it to get taken out. In fact, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to switch over to my none other than 60-day, my 2-month daily chart here. You notice I have some trend lines drawn, and that's because within this downtrend on the daily charts, you'll notice that prior lows have become new highs, and it's just been uncanny in this rally. And to see where we finished off on Friday, right here at 1440, I'm not really getting that rosy feeling inside that the market's going to be all that bullish. The half day, the Black Friday, I think that's just a head fake. Don't get suckered in. I think we're in a bear market. Anyway, before I start getting down that path, I am bearish on the market, and rightfully so. We've been talking about this for a long period of time. It's been coming to fruition. But what's great about my watch list is I take care of the bulls and I take care of the bears. I make both of them money. Hurrah! So I'm going to start off with price patterns for this week, and the first one is CMI. If you look at CMI here, you can see it kind of stands out like a sore thumb here, but this looks to me like a trend reversal pattern, none other than the old head and shoulders formation. You can see I've got two shoulders outlined right at about 125. I've got a head here at about 140, and I got a big solid neckline going here at about 105. So, close below that means some pretty bad things for CMI. Might be a big time reversal. FLS is next on the list, and that's because it looks like it's breaking out of a bull flag to me, and a pretty strong one at that. So, I've been watching this for a while. You recognize it from my other lists, but I'm bringing it up again because it's party time. Next is KOP. Looking at Copper's holdings, and I might have to zoom in here to explain all this crap I have going on in the chart here, but when you just at the first look, you're going to see the same thing. Looks maybe like a head and shoulders, right? One that's maybe a little early. But I have this little bear flag highlighted within this, which makes it even more entangled here. But this little bear flag, it's about would equal about a 10% move in the stock once it breaks. But for this bear flag to break, it's going to confirm a head and shoulders, which means there's this big old thing. Anyway, I'm bearish on the stock. Okay, let's just leave it at that. A break below 36 here, and that's going to be pretty good for anybody looking to scalp a few points in good old KOP. MOS, which might shock a few of you because I've been trading this bullishly for several months now. It's been a long period of time, but to me this also looks like a head and shoulders. Again, you can look at them. They're everywhere across the market right now. Shoulder, head, shoulder, look out. Okay, a break below 60, this thing's gone. It's going to drop 10, 11 points. Okay! Next, OMG. Now, out of this crazy mess of a stock right now, I'm seeing kind of a triangular formation. And I have this one highlighted here from back in August. It was kind of the same thing. It led to a nice little break to the upside in the stock. Now, while I'm not necessarily bullish here, to me I think symmetrical triangles don't dictate trend, nor do they even follow trend in many instances. But whichever way this thing breaks, I'm going to trade it. So how's that? Wait a minute! WLT is next to get plucked here, and that's because it's got a nice little bull flag formation. It's bouncing off of that support here at 32, which once was an old resistance. And once it cracks out of that flag, I'm liking this trade here. So that's the next one I'm going to eat this week. KCI. You can see this triangle's been forming forever. Well, at least to me, 4 months is forever. But we're getting close towards that apex, so it's got to break sooner or later. So if you're one of those people that can hold on to options for longer than, myself, I'm usually about a month or two. But if you can hold on to options for that long of a period of time, there might be a pretty good move in the stock once it breaks. Next is Atwood. I've also been tracking the stock bullishly, but ahead of this earnings announcement, we'll likely confirm this little triangle pattern we're seeing here. I don't know which way, nor do I care. But once it breaks, if it doesn't make that big of a movement, there might still be some movement left over based on this pattern. So just watch it. That's all you got to do. A reversal in Quicksilver is what I'm thinking. Next one here. I've already got the pattern plotted out. Two shoulders ahead. That's what makes it what it is. A neckline here at 50, which means when it breaks below that, hallelujah. EPR. Entertainment Properties Trust. Look at that, symmetrical triangle. Again, I'm not trying to predict which way it's going to break here, because I don't know. What I am going to do, though, is whichever way it breaks, I'm going to take a trade in the oncoming direction. Check this out. So, retail has been horrible, right? Horrible! But look at Coach. If I zoom in here, stock's just been bruised, beaten badly. Down here, off of its 52-week lows, that looks like a little inverse head and shoulders to me. I don't know. Break here above about 36, we might see 3 to 4 point reversal. It could happen. All right, next, Aladdin. ALDN. Okay, ascending triangle up at the top of its trend. Don't have to explain that. What about the WGOV? WGOV, Woodward Governor. Yeah, don't ask me. I don't know what they are, what they do, but doesn't mean that's not a triangle right there. And Sony, SNE. Last of my patterns here. Got a nice little triangle going on here, kind of towards the bottom of this recent trend. But this new Nintendo Wii, I bought one for Christmas. Unfortunately, I couldn't keep it wrapped up. I opened it. We played it. It's amazing. So I'd get long Nintendo here and short Sony. But seriously, whichever way this thing breaks, I think there's a pretty good trade involved. Now this week I'm going to mix it up a little bit. You all know I have sometimes 50 to 100 stocks in a watch list on a given week, and I'm not going to make you look at all of them. So I'm going to talk about the bullish plays first, and then I'll give you a slide with some bearish ideas after that. Before we get into the bullish ideas, I want to point out one thing from all the bearish picks this week, because I'm going to forget in just a minute. To illustrate, we're going to use UB, and this is going to be across many, many banks that you're looking at. But what you see here, downtrending stock, looks like a little bit of a rally, and we've loved to nibble on those as the stock continues to fall, right? Check this out. I throw on a study. I apply studies. Let's say I just go with a simple stochastic, nothing all that elaborate here. But notice this. While the stock is making lower lows, your stochastic here is making higher lows. That right there, folks, bullish divergence. I wouldn't be surprised to see some of these stocks in the banking sector maybe put in some bottoms here and start to rally. So if you are short these, I told you last Wednesday I was starting to filter out of these, starting to take profits. This is why. This is starting to smell like a rat here. Pull up any bank, any financial stock you look at, and if you start to see this signal here, I want you to be very, very careful. Be quick to hop out of a losing trade. But back to the bullish ideas here. Graham, GHM. You'll remember this from a triangle breakout we had about 2 months ago, right through here at 45. Well, this thing's moving again, and it's moving a lot. So I want you to have this on your radar. It's looking pretty sweet right here at these levels. Vimple, I'm just going to talk about it here. It's ahead of an earnings announcement. I don't want you to trade it necessarily, but I think earnings might not be too bad. But again, if you bet any money on that, then you're a retard. So let's just stick it right here. Keep it on the list. It's still an uptrending stock. We'll check it after earnings. Metler Toledo, MTD, the next one. Again, you'll notice the premise of my watch lists ever since I started this silly little blog here is I want to point out how to take a bullish trade or a bearish trade, and that's by taking these unbelievable entry points right here next to trend lines so you can hop out with simple, little itty-bitty losses. Metler Toledo's throwing me one of those right now, so I'm taking it down. So is Dolby, DLB. Looks like the same thing, right? That's because it is. SPW. Booyah. Can't believe I just said that. LLL. Same thing. Look at that. That's hot right there. DCO. Got to take this one down as well. It's looking pretty good. CVS. Money. Just looks great right there. ESRX. I've been talking about this one for months. I hope you guys are making lots of money off of this. Newmont Mining. You guys saw the big time rally in gold on Friday. Well, check out the miners too. They're getting hot. C-Trip. I've been trading this one forever and a day. And I like this price action right around this. Closing price on Thursday, right at that trend line. Opening price on Friday, right at that trend line. So there's a lot of action right around here. If this holds, it's a good thing for the stock. Iron Mountain is the next one. I'm going to take that down this week. Because look at that. Boom. Just looks beautiful. And SYNA. It's another repeat. But we got that same beautiful bullish signal that we've been looking for every month. We've been talking about it. So there it is. For those of you looking for some bearish ideas, I'm about to insert a slide here. So get ready to hit your pause button on the count of 3, 2, 1.
Wow, it's very nice.
So that right there, folks, is another beauty of a watch list. and thank you for watching.
This is pretty much the worst video ever made.